Nick, Emily, Oliver, Jeff in Las Vegas. Good morning.
What's up?
Hi.
How are you?
Well, first problem is I made a mistake of watching The Offering at 11 o'clock at night, so I was I
It's a
was
rookie error.
totally creeped out. So congratulations, man! What an
I,
excellent
I,
thriller.
I like to think you're such a fan that you've wallpapered your front room with an image
With
from the
your
film.
face, with Nick's
Yeah,
Yeah.
face.
you're with Nick's face. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I made plenty of circles too to keep the evil spirits out too. So, well, Nick, your character Art, he returns home. I was wondering if you could tell us what his childhood was like, because you say in the movie it's a laugh a minute.
Yeah, I think he felt very oppressed by the culture that he grew up in. He, is, I think, always been intrigued by the outside world. His community can be quite, he found it very insular. And also the fact that he grew up in a morgue. His kind of first experiences of helping out dad with some chores might have been quite different to ours. And particularly with then the death of his mother, that religion seemed to be the only answer that he was offered to deal with the grief and that whole process of getting over his mother dying. And I think as you get older, you understand that your parents are just human beings messing it up as they go along like everyone else. And his dad, I don't think at that time, because he was grieving as well, he knew how to support Art, and Art, developed a huge resentment against his dad and then the whole community, and kind of blamed them for his struggles with his grief.
Your character never really forgot how to do an autopsy. When he pulls that knife out of the body, out of the cadaver, I was just like screaming.
It's like riding a bike.
And Emily, your character Claire, she's a writer who's expecting her first daughter. She's an outsider though, and she's told she'll never be part of the community, the Orthodox Jewish community. So how does that make her feel?
Oh, I mean, from the get-go, she's really just trying to hold everything together. Like, not only is she completely, this religion and community completely foreign to her, but she's, walking into to meet Art's father, who's told her she'll never be a part of it. But I think, when there's a child in the picture, it kind of becomes a lot bigger than just yourself, and so she's really fighting, for her daughter's life and to bring her into a family that's going to be a loving one. Little does she know that that might not be the case.
Oliver, the new genre is quickly forming, the Hasidic horror film, and that opening shot having the film, the set decoration, the books, the candles, the disarray, the details of the funeral home, that really sets the tone of the movie. Could you tell us a little about how you designed all that?
Wow, it's a big question. Yes, of course. Ultimately, everything had to be 100% authentic, not just towards the Hasidic community, but also to the level of research that the character who lives in that opening set has done. He has gone insane trying to bring his wife back from the dead. So all of those books and everything he's done is all toward that. And that's, hats off to the incredible production designer, the art department, but also Hank, the writer, for writing such an interesting character who would live in a place like that. And then ultimately doing that shot to reveal all of that was just fantastic. It was so beautiful to shoot. But I would say I think we need to remember that the whole Jewish, like the sect of Jewish horror, is not new. And I think there seems to be this strange resurgence at the moment, which is fantastic. But Jewish horror is older than Nosferatu. Jewish horror started in 1915. So I think, obviously it was amazing to be part of this, but I think that my job here is to bring it back, not to create something that's never been done before, because we all need to remember this was around, Jewish religious horror has been around for a long, long time. So we're just bringing it back.
And Nick, Art is about to lose his home. How desperate is he?
Desperate enough to do what he does. I think that he's grown up with a sense of patriarchy that means that compels him to provide and to be kind of probably what is a slightly outdated version of the the husband, that he's taken on himself to be the provider for their family. It's all new to him as well, having a baby. He's overpromised. I think in his desire to prove himself, he's overextended himself, and now and he's placed so much importance on being a successful businessman. And when that is falling apart, it's a sense of himself that is falling apart. So his only option he sees is to sell out his dad. And also that it speaks to his rejection of his faith, that he doesn't place as much importance on the service that his dad Saul provides to the community, and how important that is as the cycle of life, that death is part of it, and that his dad is needed in that community.
And Emily, the demon is called the taker of children. Not a good situation for Claire, is it?
No, definitely not. Yeah, I mean, that was definitely as we said before, I don't particularly enjoy horror, but what I really liked was the chat. I mean, because most of my scenes are me, Claire and this demon, and so kind of creating what that was for me, I got to kind of really pick apart my own psychology and find out what terrifies me the most, and almost, I mean, it kind of was cathartic in a certain way, kind of to go through that, or at least figure that out. So.
And Oliver, the Orthodox Jewish community, they're very private. So during research and production, were there any concerns? Especially you got Alan Cordner, who's just my favorite in Topsy Turvy. So if that's not a raging endorsement for this movie, what is, right?
Absolutely, yeah. An enormous amount of research and very, very close work with the production team, the producers who are Jewish, Hank Hoffman, who wrote this, who is also Jewish, who also, he speaks Aramaic. So, the rituals, the symbolism and everything in this film, if you were scared before, we're here to say this is a warning. It's all real, so don't go repeating anything you see in the movie, just in case. But just 23-hour-a-day research into an extraordinary community and just endless fascination. I could do a string of movies just on this alone because it's fascinating.
And not only that, I love that your movie has an ability to fight back. I can't stand horror films where people are being tortured and just take it. You call it a Kabbalist, I love when you can fight back in a movie like this, because you want to root for them, right? And in most horror films, you just got to take it and it ends on a downbeat note. But I just love how there's an ability for the characters to fight back. So I thought that was brilliant. And also, this is your first feature film, Oliver. So can you tell me the first shot on the first day and what was your last shot on the last day?
Okay, the first shot didn't make it into the movie. The very first shot of the first day was, the first scene we shot was the argument scene, which I would say is probably one of the hardest scenes to do for for these guys. But the first shot was actually that scene playing out from right down the end of the corridor. So we actually see the whole scene play out with two people in a distant room having an argument. That was our master shot, which didn't make it into the movie. And the very last shot also didn't make it into the movie. The very last shot is a shot of a grave. We are at a graveyard at one point. We see a grave, and I come into frame.
There it is.
That's not in the movie either.
Well, good intentions. Congratulations all around on this film. You gave me a thrill during Christmas, which I wasn't expecting. So, so best of luck with the film. Thank you for joining me today, and let's talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you
so
much.
much.
Thank you.
Take care.